Today on the CTV News at 5.
Ruined my whole house because now toxic mold is setting in. It's too late.
Frustrations continue to rise as water levels drop across southern Alberta. Plus, a look at the flood cleanup efforts in Lethbridge. And a jail sentence in a Colehurst stabbing death.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, but instead it turned into a heartbreaking tragedy. A Lethbridge man has been sentenced to 8 years and 4 months in prison for killing another man and stabbing 2 others during a Diwali festival in Colehurst more than 3 years ago. Terry Boat reports.
What began as a night of celebration in November of 2010 turned into a tragedy that's devastated 2 families. 21-year-old Jawan Singh Guy, known as JJ, was helping his parents cater the Diwali Festival of Lights in Colehurst when he stepped in to break up a confrontation between his younger brother and 29-year-old Harpal Singh Dhillon. Guy was stabbed 8 times with a box cutter, including a fatal wound to the heart. 2 other men who tried to stop Dhillon were injured.
And in the end, the consequence was tragic for both families. Everybody lost something here.
Dhillon was originally charged with second-degree murder, but last December pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter and 2 counts of assault with a weapon. He has received a global sentence of 8.5 years, but will be given credit for 49 days spent in pretrial custody.
He's been getting ready for this day. He knows that jail was going to happen. The only issue was when, but no one ever wants to hear someone tell you that you're going to spend 8 years and 4 months in custody.
Dhillon's lawyer argued for a lighter sentence, pointing out his client has accepted responsibility and always expressed remorse. He's also taken anger management counseling. The Crown called for a tougher sentence, and Guy's family says there should have been more punishment. They say Dhillon will have a normal life when he gets out of prison. They've lost JJ forever.
Being a mother, I am proud on my sons. So I lost a great. I'm lucky I had this kind of son who gave the life for the family.
Family members say there are no words to describe the pain and loneliness they've been suffering. They say they thought it would be easier to deal with Jawan's death as time goes on. Instead, they say it's getting harder. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Dhillon's lawyer says an appeal is unlikely. Meanwhile, Lethbridge City Police are asking for your help finding a suspect in a sexual assault. Early Monday morning, a 26-year-old Lethbridge woman was walking along 12A Street South when she was grabbed from behind, fell to the ground, and then sexually assaulted. Police are looking for a Caucasian male between 30 and 40 years old with an average build, scruffy, light-colored facial hair, wrinkles around his mouth, and stained, chipped teeth and sunburned skin. He smelled of cigarette smoke and was wearing a black hoodie with the hood up, white skateboard shoes, dark pants, a belt with a silver loop, and an earring in his left ear. If you have any information who this man could be, you are urged to contact police or Crime Stoppers. And for the second time in less than a month, there is another river search underway right now in the East Kootenay for a missing man. 40 search and rescue crews are combing the Bull River just southeast of Cranbrook for a 20-year-old Jaffrey man. RCMP say he was last seen Monday night leaving an area campsite. Search crews found tire tracks and debris, leading them to believe that his vehicle ended up in the river. An air search is also underway. Now, we also have an update for you on the search of 2 missing men in the Canal Flats area. Stephen Thompson and Nicholas Huffnagels were camping with friends near Canal Flats. Thompson lived in the area. Huffnagels is from Cochrane. Police have found Huffnagels' truck at the Finley Creek waterfalls. It was wedged up against the rocks and fully submerged. After a week of searching, they found it. 18-year-old Huffnagels and 21-year-old Thompson disappeared June 6th while driving from their campsite to Canal Flats. Police suspect the truck went off a dirt road. They found the pair's personal belongings scattered down the embankment. The truck has now been removed. We're told damage was extensive. However, there was no sign of the young men. Dory, we cannot get to that sunshine soon enough. I know today was pretty nice, but we've got more sunshine on the way.
We do, Jackie. For the next several days, temperatures are going to be the high 20s to low 30s even as we head into holiday Monday. Very strong area of high pressure is developing as we speak over southern Alberta, and it's going to stay entrenched in our area for quite a while. I'll tell you all about it in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. Now we go to High River, where tensions are running high. Residents just want to get back into the town to see their homes, and they are not allowed in.
Extremely angry at the officials who are so bloody incompetent.
I think in watching what happened in Calgary, my understanding there was 75,000 people who basically were evacuated in some way, shape, or form. Mayor Nenshi handled that whole situation admirably, and what I think Cam Crawford was interviewed earlier today, he said it very, very well, in the sense that there's an invisible authority that is here, and there really is no decisive ongoing communication about what's happening and what to expect.
These two residents can see their property, their land, even their home. It's on higher ground and appears dry, but they are not allowed to go to it. And that's a story that we're hearing again and again in High River as officials try to secure the area. Meanwhile, an Alberta flood relief fundraiser is going to be held at Lethbridge's Smokehouse Barbecue and Bar. Tickets are $5. All proceeds are going towards the Salvation Army to help flood victims.
We always want to give back to our community. This is a great community, and my heart goes out to everybody in High River and Calgary, and it's just horrible what's going, everybody got hit by this.
There are a number of fundraisers happening. This particular one will be held Saturday, July the 13th from noon until midnight with live bands performing all day and night. Many families in Medicine Hat still aren't being allowed to return to their homes either after flooding earlier this week.
But it's kind of frustrating when you turn the radio on and you're getting Calgary, Edmonton, and all them other places and nothing about Medicine Hat.
Officials in Medicine Hat say about 900 homes have been inspected, but inspections in some parts of the city had to be halted because of significant sewer backups and that the health risks that come with it. Those who were allowed back into their homes or businesses are being urged to use caution and watch for warning signs like bad odor, dampness, or mold growth. Residents we talked to say they are thankful for the support of friends and neighbors, but many are also frustrated about not being allowed to check on their property.
Honestly, I don't think too much got to my place. I think everything's relatively good, I don't think there's too much damage.
The city is now placing garbage dumpsters in all flood-affected areas so residents have a place to put flood-damaged property. They're also waiving landfill fees for residents or contractors hauling sandbags or personal flooded goods. People are reminded to keep track of all the costs and save receipts for personal records. Outdoor water restrictions are still in place. Since opening its doors in 1953, the Sunnyside School has had a proud tradition for people growing up in the area just northeast of Lethbridge. The school is commemorating its 60th anniversary this week, and there have been a lot of changes over that time. But as Keaton Grabovich reports, Sunnyside still has a lot to celebrate.
Friends from long ago shake hands and catch up. A new generation gets a tour, and a current student learns about technology from a different time at Sunnyside Elementary. The school is celebrating its 60th anniversary. These former students are getting a walk down memory lane, and current students have a chance to see what life in school was like back in the earlier days.
One of the beauties of our school is the families are so connected with each other that, the older children play with the younger children and they get along well with each other all the time. So when we set them up to be tour guides, we set younger children up with older children, and they practiced and they embraced the whole idea.
Former student Amy Haas says this school was what molded her into the woman she is today, and hopes her children will learn the same life lessons she did.
I built lifelong friends that I'm still in contact with from being in this school, and my mom was the secretary when I was going to school here, and now my kids are going to school here, and Grandma's still here now, so they get to see her every day.
Sunnyside has never been a large school. Currently, there are only 90 students enrolled from kindergarten to grade 6. Parks Hershey says the best part of attending a small rural school is the bonds he can create with everyone.
Because it's so small, you know everybody here, so you're kind of friends with everybody.
Artifacts brought in from museums in Lethbridge and Coaldale set the scene for students to interact with and show how far technology has come in the past half a century. Some past students have driven from Saskatchewan to celebrate the milestone. Some of the students at Sunnyside Elementary School are actually third generation. The technology may have changed over the decades, but the dedication to the students has stood the test of time. Keaton Gerbovac, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Stories coming up straight ahead with the forecast for our July long weekend. First, though, the day's markets.